in the interview. Just making sure that I'm keeping post, working on the offensive glass, going up opposite inside, and just keep the energy up.
And it looked like you had your little post game going early in that game. What have you added to your arsenal there in the low post?
I don't really add anything. I was always capable of doing that. It was just about practicing it, putting up more shots in the gym. After practice, getting with Coach Antigua and just putting up more shots, like just putting in makes.
Thanks, man.
Okay, Brandon, you're up. Scott Ritchie on deck. Go ahead.
Hey Trent, this was your guys' best defensive performance of the season, I'd say. What were you guys doing so well on that end?
I think we were just, very locked in on details tonight, just scouting report wise. We preached about it a lot after the Mizzou game, going into Big Ten play. How important it is, of these Big Ten teams, every night is going to be a battle. They make you pay for mistakes. So I thought everyone was very locked in on that side of the basketball. Just, with details, scouting report, and just limit them to one tough shot and one rebound. So we did an awesome job tonight doing that.
And then Kofi, the shooting sleeve elbow guard's a new look for you. Why did you bring that out tonight? And after a career night, are you going to keep wearing it?
Trent Frazier told me to wear it. He said he liked that look on me in the photo shoot. He said I should wear it today. I guess I'm gonna keep wearing it.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Scott Ritchie, you're up. Joey Wagner, you're on deck. Go ahead. Joey Wagner, go ahead.
Hey, Kofi, when Andre Curbelo, we talked yesterday about Andre's passes to you. It looked like you were ready for him tonight. What's it like when he's out there and making those plays for you?
It's incredible, man. Like I said the other day, incredible IQ, really gifted passer. It's just about expecting it, always being ready with my hands and just knowing that, trust him. He's going to make the right play. He's going to pass that at the right moment. So it's just about being ready, like I said earlier, and just having a good mindset of like, yeah, he's gonna throw it, even if you don't.
And Trent, I know you talked about the team's defense, but for you, what goes through your mind when you take the challenge of guarding their leading scorer? It looks like you were really in Marcus Carr's pocket for most of the night.
Nothing really. I've taken on that challenge for the past, 2 years now, trying on that defensive end, guarding everyone's best players. So, that's just what I do on the defensive side. So I just go out there, play hard and, just always try to stay assignment sound and, just bring that energy on the defensive end, to help these other guys get going on that side of the basketball too, to get kills, So, like I said, nothing really goes to my mind other than, just playing hard and just staying assignment sound.
Thanks, sir.
Scott Ritchie, we'll go back to you. Go ahead, Scott.
Well, I'm not sure this is best, but with Trent, was there an emphasis on getting Kofi going early tonight in this game? Just how much did the coaches talk about that? And him doing that, how much did that help you guys?
He's the best big in the country. I believe, it's just, us when we get out in transition and he's in that paint, sealing his for position. We try to throw the ball in there 99% of the time where we see his numbers, or when he has position, to be successful, to score baskets. So tonight was his night. I thought everyone, did a good job to keep feeding him and trying to, find him because obviously, he had an advantage down there. So, like I said, that's our offense. It starts with him, and our other bigs, George. Them getting out and running. Point. Just playing to the post. In transition. That's what helps. These other guys get open look for threes. So they do a tremendous job. With that of running. And when they're ready to having their hands ready, lobs, whatever. So tonight, Kobe was incredible for us, and he just got to continue to do that.
And a question for Kofi: how important was it for you guys to maybe keep building that lead in the second half and maybe really put Minnesota away?
Yeah, it's really important, man. We're coming in the Big Ten play. The freshmen don't really understand it, but Big Ten play is not like regular basketball. You know, we go up in the first half and we come out. We can't come out with the mindset that we're up so we can relax now. We have to keep pressing because these Big Ten teams do not give up. And I've witnessed it over and over again where we go in the second half with a lead or other teams going with the lead and then we just fight back and come back. So it's just about keeping the foot on the gas, you know, doing a tremendous job on the defensive end. Trent Frazier was incredible. DeMonte Williams and Ayo Dosunmu, they was incredible on the defensive end. And it's just about getting stops, and just making sure that we execute the plays, keeping our foot on the gas.
Thank you.
Okay, we got Nico and then Gabby and then Harry. So go ahead, Nico.
Okay, kind of following up on that, how important is it just coming out in the Big Ten opener and getting the dominant win that you guys were able to get tonight with 19 more of these ahead of you guys?
Important, man. Every Big Ten win is an important one because every night the games are going to be decided by two positions or more. Big Ten is a really tough basketball league, and tonight it was big for us. You know, we came out. We're a really talented team. We know how good we are, and to come out and make a statement like that, it's big time for us because that's what we need teams to expect from us every night. Coming out playing with that fight, that anger, you know, like playing possessed basically, playing possessed and just coming out with that energy every night.
And Trent, you had some great reactions to Jermaine Hamlin's dunks. How exciting is it when you see those guys that don't get a lot of minutes to be able to make a play like that? What was kind of going through those reactions for you?
I mean, it's always exciting to see those guys, do the things we work on in practice. Those guys come in every day, the same time we come in for practice, testing, extra work. Those guys work their butts off too. So it's special, it's special to me, to see, us, handle business early and give those guys, a chance, to go out there and play hard and, have a chance, play on the court against a good team. So and it's just to see, Jermaine, have those buckets with a smile on his face is awesome because he works hard, battling Kofi every day, and that's what's special about it because he learns from these, these veterans. So just the young guys when they score baskets is always special,
Billboard next.
It gives them a lot of confidence when they're, guys, the older guys, having expression, emotion, and just happy for them when they, they can have a chance to score those type of buckets. So, like I said, it's just always special.
Thanks, Trent.
Gabby, you're up, and Harry on deck. Go ahead, Gabby.
Just for Kofi, just when it seems like at the end of the first half, when you guys are just going on those runs, and it seems like there was just a lot of fun energy out there. How important is that energy in a competitive Big Ten game to just keep feeding off each other?
Important. I'm glad you mentioned it. When we could come out there and we play with that kind of energy, everybody around us.
All right, the Illini lead at halftime, 40-29. They win at 92-65. Let's go to the media room. Kofi Coburn and Trent Frazier taking questions
we're going to play great defense.
from the media.
We're not going to mess around. And like Trent come out and he's talking on defense, and everybody start adapting and everybody start doing the same thing. So we start connecting and we started feeding off each other's energy, and that just gives us that pump, that drive to, play with togetherness. And that started from the defensive end, that togetherness on the defensive end. Ending up with us coming out and transitioning in offense and just executing. We had 21 assists today, and I think that has a lot to do with us connecting on the defensive end and talking and just being there for each other.
Yeah, and then Kofi, just it seems like in the second half, the free throws were falling a little more. Was that a big halftime message from Coach?
He gets on me a lot about that. He knows I'm capable of making it. It's just about not rushing it, doing my routine. I kind of rush my routine sometimes and rush the shot. Just about like me going to the line. He told me all the time, go to the line, step up, be confident, breathe, do your routine and hit the shot. He said, there's nothing to it. That's it. So he definitely got on me about it at halftime, told me, gotta make my free throws.
Thanks, Kofi.
Okay, we'll go Harry and then Joey, and then that'll probably be it. Go ahead, Harry.
This one's for Trent. They say, great teams always find a way to bounce back after a tough loss, and you guys have been able to do that twice so far this season, winning at Duke after Baylor and now winning here after Missouri. What do you think it is about this team that you guys are able to get those wins when in past years we've seen after a tough loss, maybe the team loses another one instead?
I think it's just we come to work every day. I mean, we just know, how good of a team we are, and coaches established that in this culture. And, the thing I love about this team is we don't dwell on, our losses. So, after the Missouri game was out the window, we started preparing for Big Ten, we went in this game with a mindset of everyone being 0-0, and we had one goal, and that was the Big Ten championship trophy. So and that's the mindset we're gonna come out with every night. We don't dwell on losses, win or lose. We just got to continue to get better the next day, and prepare for the next game on the schedule. So I think that's the greatest thing about basketball is you get to do it all over again every other night. So the thing I love about this team is we always want to come out here and play hard, fight, and just prepare for the next game.
Thank you, Trent.
And Joey, I saw now that you were just asking everybody to make sure they're muted, which is a great message for everybody. Anybody other questions for the guys?
Could I get one more, actually?
Go ahead.
Hey, Kofi, is it different for you when you're playing against like-sized, there's guys who are maybe similar to you physically? I mean, are you able to play any more aggressively without fearing being called for anything?
I wouldn't say it's easier. I feel like playing against somebody my size, it gives me the opportunity to use what I have. Undersized players, you take advantage of undersized players, and you just go, you try to use your power, you try to finish over them. Bigger opponents give you the opportunity to use a skill, and you're able to take your time basically. Like today, I just focused on getting to my spot, and those are the shots that I practice every day. So I get up a lot of reps with those shots, and that's why I'm capable of making them right now. So I guess the bigger opponents it's not easier, but they give me opportunity to use my skill and be slower and be more thorough with my moves.
Thank you.
Okay, I just want to thank everybody. That'll end the player portion. We'll wait for Coach to join us here in just a moment.
All right, final score 92-65. Illinois over Minnesota on the Busey Bank Illini Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Okay.
Go ahead and leave it.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was talking about.
No, I don't either. I mean, it's ambiguous to me because it shows the microphone as mute.
So one game note tonight. Today's 27-point win was the most lopsided Big Ten season opening win since 1983-84 when Illinois beat Minnesota 80-53. So we can thank former SID Mike Pearson, who's on this call, for looking that note up while we're doing our thing here.
What was the date, Kent? 1980.
Would have been in the 83-84 season, so I'm sure it was in 84. I don't have the date. All right, we're going to go ahead. Coach, why don't you go ahead and start with an opening statement, then we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, I'm excited about tonight. It was kind of a get back to basics, get back to the identity of who we are. I think maybe we had been scheming a little too much defensively, and Trent Frazier literally just said, "Coach, I got him. I got him. We don't need to do all the switching. We don't need to do any of this. I got him." And I think Trent set the tone. Io was right there, came over after the Missouri game and sat down with me before practice early and said, we're getting back to it. And when you get that kind of leadership from your two veteran guards, um, I felt great. And we made everything for Marcus Carr a very good guard. I think he's one of the top scorers in our league. Um, very difficult. He ends up with 16, but on 13 shots, 3 of 13. The one thing we did was put him on the line. That's still an area of concern. You hold a team to 25%, and you don't want to let them off the hook by shooting free throws. And again, some of that is our youth and our inexperience, but we've got to continue to emphasize that, clean that up. And then when we can do that, shoot a contested shot, get a defensive rebound, and then run, you see that we can be really explosive there. So great night for Kofi. Got a little comfort at the free throw line, I think, and everybody's made a big deal about it. And he's been very conscientious about that. He's been practicing them, and again, he was comfortable, but he was dominant. Our game plan was going inside to him from the jump, and he was very, very effective, and then did a nice job on the glass as well. So all around, very pleased, and now it's we've had 3 straight road games. It was nice to come back and be at home, and obviously get conference win number 1 as we head back out on the road again for a couple more.
Okay, we'll open up for questions. We'll go right down the order. Brad Sturdy, you're up. Matt Stevens on deck. Derek Piper in the hole. Go ahead, Brad.
Coach, last game you said you didn't like Io having 36. You thought that was too many. Didn't want one guy having that many. Kofi has 33 tonight. You feel a little better about that tonight?
I like the way they came. And we asked Io to get us back in a ball game. And when you got the best guard in the country, and you're down, you're going to put the ball in his hands and make decisions. And that was me making the play calls to have our best player try to win a game for us. And yet, the balance tonight, we scored 92 points. And it was the effectiveness of and efficiency, and then it's 21 assists. There was plenty to go around, and it's a really good feeling when you look down and know that your best player and the best guard, was unbelievable at the defensive end, and had a night where, they guarded him and he didn't have to score big, and we still won, and that's a really comforting thing for me.
Yeah, if with Io, maybe struggling a little bit on offense, shooting the ball, is that maybe the most impressive thing that you're able to score 92 points when he doesn't have his best night offensively?
Yeah, and it's 7 rebounds and it's 5 assists for him, and he just finds other ways to impact the game, and we've got some weapons, and we keep talking to Adam about staying out of foul trouble so you can stay on the floor, so he can go on those runs where he hits 3 or 4 in a row, and we're starting to feel very comfortable with Coleman and what he's doing and what he's capable of. So it's a great feeling to see and be able to spread the wealth, so to speak.
Okay, Matt Stevens, you're up. Derek Piper on deck. Go ahead, Matt.
Brad, they had 2 points in the paint in the first half. I don't think they got that bucket until there was the first 13 or 14 minutes in. How key was it tonight for you guys to stay in front and just have your bigs affect everything that they wanted to get for 2 points?
Yeah, we had 3 words tonight that we talked about: communicate, walls, and stick. And it was about communicating constantly. And when we talk, and it brings energy, we wanted to have walls where Marcus Carr just saw nothing but bodies and walls of us in front of him. And then the other thing was stick and rebound, and plus 18 on the glass. And I thought there were some that we missed. I'm really ticked about the free throw line blockouts, but yeah, and then we can run when we do that. So all in all, that happens when you make things hard.
Okay, Derek Piper, you're up. Jeremy's on deck. Go ahead, Derek.
Hey, Coach, how would you evaluate the way that Io and Curbelo were playing together on the court at the same time? Seemed like they got a decent amount of minutes there, 14 assists between them, and both guys that can really set up Kofi nicely.
It's a nice combination to have, and again, both can do similar things. And you know, when you put Trent out there as well, I mean, you've got three primary ball handlers that can all go make plays, and we've got 3 point guards, and you know, I've always been a big fan of multiple point guards in a lineup, and you know, it doesn't have to be Io on the ball every time, and we're running an action. We can put Io on a ball and Curbelo. Tonight we wanted to get Io into what we call a lot of high shakes, and we did that, and that took away some of their tags, and so it was it's nice to have that luxury. But yeah, they're playing great together.
And how nice was it to be in a situation where you can play Coleman 12 minutes, you can get Jake in there just based on the situation and the game score?
As you guys know, we haven't had a schedule that's allowed that since the first 2 games, and just trying to get as many minutes possible. And it gets really hard as you jump into 20 Big Ten games, but that's unusual. It doesn't happen a lot in Big Ten play, but Coleman's had an unbelievable week of practice, dating back to actually before the Missouri game. So he's starting to get it, and I'm starting to trust, and those are all positives.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, Jeremy, you're up. Gavin's on deck. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Brad, you said you wanted more and more from Kofi. He draws 9 fouls tonight. It felt like he was very active defensively and on the glass. What do you think spurred him that way?
Yeah, I mean, Kofi's got unbelievable pride, and I mean, he's an unbelievable listener. He's an unbelievable wants to continually grow his game, and we had one word, and if anybody heard it tonight, it was everybody was saying it on the bench. It's motor, and it was going to chase balls, and it was going to going to stay active and running the floor, and not letting him lapse mentally by constantly talking about and referring to motor, so that he goes all the time. And it's amazing what happens when you really play hard, and the game just kind of finds you, and it found him tonight.
And then after one fast break decision, you had a conversation with Andre. Ends up with 9 assists and 2 turnovers. What was the message or teaching moment there?
Yeah, I think the one thing that I want him to understand, he thinks everybody's going to catch every pass that he throws, and that's a great mindset to have, and he is very capable of that. And I thought he threw that one a little too early to Georgie, where he was going to put Georgie in a really bad spot to have to do something with it, and just understand it. If he waits another step or maybe it's a different angle to pass it, but he can't just complete it. He's got to make sure that there's success on the back end of that. And I thought that would have been a tough spot.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, Gavin, you're up, and then Scott Ritchie on deck. Go ahead, Gavin.
Hey, Brad, early on tonight, we saw Adam hit a couple of shots early in the game, and then it seemed like maybe he forced a few shots or took some
Gavin,
shots that weren't necessarily open.
Can you start that question over, Gavin? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Can you hear me, Brad? Okay. Adam started the game pretty well, hit a couple of shots, and then it seemed like maybe he forced some shots, took some shots that were a little less natural and open. And then down the stretch, he hit those 3 threes in a row. What do you think he has to do in terms of shot selection and making sure he's taking shots at the right time in the right places?
Yeah, and I mean, we ran some more things to him tonight to get him going. And, I think one of the things, and I think all freshmen go through this a little bit, they've always been able to get to the rim, and they've always been able to execute plays and do things in the paint. And that doesn't happen at this level. At a very it becomes very difficult. And one of the things we're trying to get Adam to do is just play off 2 feet, play off a jump stop in the paint. And he's big and strong. He's got a great body, and he gets himself in trouble a little bit when he goes off 1 foot. And that's one of the things that he's not going to jump over everybody. And there's a lot of size and length, and he'll continue to grow in that. We work on that skill every day.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, Scott Ritchie, you're up, and then Bob Rosenthal on deck.
Hey, Brad, you said Kofi had an inconspicuous 19. at Missouri. So what's 33-13 then?
Dominant, dominant. Good night, dominant, and especially factor in he's 12 of 15 from the field, and the fouls that he put on people.
I guess to follow up with that, when he gets two early ones on Robbins, did this make you maybe double down on going to him because they weren't going to have their 7-foot shot blocker defending him?
Yeah, it didn't matter who was in the game. We were gonna try to establish that, and obviously Robbins impacts that team dramatically on the offensive side. We saw that with his 2 early threes, and yet the one thing that happens in the Big Ten is you don't play all-time offense. You have to go guard somebody at the other end and defend, and we felt like that was a matchup that could be great for us, and tonight Kofi was very, very good, and Robbins is a heck of a player, guys. He's going to have a great year in this league. So tonight Kofi was really good. We were fortunate we picked up a couple early ones on him.
Okay, Bob Rosenthal, and then we'll go Brandon after that.
Coach, in the second half, you're up pretty big, and you stayed with this main rotation of 8 guys until the 4-minute mark. Didn't really see anybody else off the bench. Was that some pushing your starters? Was that intentional? What was the reason for that?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of bodies. Tyler's still not cleared. He's suited. Ben is still not cleared, but suited and goes through warm-ups. So you start looking at, especially at the guard position, we get pretty thin, and I had to leave some guys out there a little longer than I'd hoped. But, we basically have 4 frontline guys out there at the end, and, that gets to be tough. Somebody's got to hang in there.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll go Harry Fiegel and then Joey after that. Go ahead, Harry.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. I asked Trent this earlier. I just want to get your thoughts on it as well. Great teams always find a way to bounce back after a tough loss, and you guys have done that now twice this season, after Baylor and now after Missouri. What do you think it is about this iteration of your team that allows them to come back and get these wins, whereas maybe some of your teams in the past couple of years would not have gotten them?
Experience. They know it's a long year. There's ups and downs. We've played a great schedule. We've been challenged, and it's really the next game mentality. We can't go change the outcome of the game we lost, but all we can do is learn from it. And it's it's like I said and talked about earlier with Trent and with DeMonte, and I played DeMonte a lot tonight, and DeMonte has lived in the training room with a rolled ankle. That thing is swollen and sore, and he wouldn't even think of missing practice. And so I'm when you get those kind of guys, they talked about bouncing back, and Georgie was very, very active today in shoot around, talking about it's conference play, and so I'm proud of this, guys. That's leadership that does that.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, and then Joey, and then Matt Stevens. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Brad, you said you guys went back to the basics. Can you elaborate on that, and what does that do from a comfort level for some of those guys?
Well, one of the things that we have not been doing very well is guarding the ball. And, we spent a good amount of time just simply guarding the basketball in practice the last 2 days, trying to clean up a few other things that are just the fundamental things. And a lot of it's talking. A lot of it is we did emphasize not fouling. Again, we've got to learn to be aggressive and yet not be unintelligent by reaching and slapping. And again, that's something that, are all fundamental things that we've, one of the biggest challenges we've had this year is we've never had officials in practice because of COVID. And, a year ago, we brought officials in every day or at least 5 or 6 times a week when we practiced. And so they called fouls. And our guys haven't got used to that yet. They haven't heard the whistle and understand what a foul is and what a foul isn't. So You know, we're gonna have some growing pains there, but again, it was just simply guarding the basketball, communicating, calling our coverages, and we seem to be better at it tonight.
And with Kofi, is there anything you see in him when he's playing against somebody who is closer to his size physically? Can he be more aggressive without fear of hearing a whistle? Or I mean, do you see any change in him there?
No, I mean he has seen that a lot. He's dominated small guys. He's dominated big guys. I mean you know, I think the one thing that he's just about seen everything, and it's you know, as any big, he's relying upon uh, you know, guards getting him the ball in the right spot, and I think that we're getting more accustomed to doing that and better at it, and we obviously did it tonight.
Thanks, Brad.
Brad, I wanted to ask you if this defensive change that you made was any kind of similarity to what you did last year in terms of, you know, a drastic change or a drastic kind of thing that you're doing, or is it just a simple thing that you feel like you were doing? And the next question is, how hard is it for a coach at any level to kind of let his guys just figure it out on their own and fix it?
It's not even close to what we did last year. Last year was a whole schematic change and philosophical change. This year was just about getting back to some of the things that are fundamental principles, and maybe not maybe we have, and that's on me. We've gotten away. We've been trying to scheme certain actions and be maybe a little too creative, which goes into the second part of your question. Trent Frazier and I would assume would take a lot of pride. They just want to guard their guy, and they take pride in that. And you know, so you listen, you let them play through some things, and you're ready to help them. We had a little different coverage if we would have needed it tonight that we practiced, but this was just about man to man. We're going to guard you, and we're going to work really hard to try to do that and contest shots. And so I hope we continue to grow that and not outthink ourselves sometimes.
Thank you. Okay, thanks everybody. The date on that game in 1984 was January 5th, 1984. That was the 27-point win against Minnesota to open the Big Ten. So this was the biggest season opening, Big Ten opening win since that game. Thanks, everyone.